Roll on, Mississippi, roll on. Mississippi, roll on.
The SEC West, yeah, a very competitive division, and as if it wasn't difficult enough, try this one on for size. Ole Miss last season gave themselves a bowl ban. This year, the NCAA is saying that they can't go to a bowl game either. Of course, the Rebels are appealing this, but good luck on getting that thing overturned. And, of course, scholarship reductions, a big problem for the Rebels to try to handle. Of course, these are NCAA sanctions levied against the Ole Miss program thanks to the Hugh Freeze era off the field. Yeah, it's not exactly an even playing field. Ole Miss knows this, but last year, you know what? They did quite respectable under first-year head coach Matt Luke, 6-6. This year, the Rebels know that they have a lot coming back offensively, and that does include a passing game that's amongst the best in the land. I'm talking about Jordan Ta'amu, who played some last year, and he got to play a lot because of the Shea Patterson injury. And actually, Ta'amu did better than Patterson as far as completion percentage, 67%, QB rating, 164, and had a better TD to interception ratio, 11 to just 4 interceptions. So you get Ta'amu back. Of course, if anything happens to him, you won't have Patterson there anymore, who is trying to be the starting quarterback at Michigan. The backup most likely will be Matt Corral, a true freshman who was the #1 recruit in this most recent class for Ole Miss out of Long Beach, California. The running game, a big void, no Jordan Wilkins, who had over 1,000 yards rushing and also touched the ball 155 times. The guy who touched the ball the second most, that would be Devon Penniman, who only got 53 carries and averaged just barely over 4 yards per carry. So the running game, there's concerns there. But not with the receivers, best in the SEC, one of the best receiving units in all of college football. And you get back one of the best receivers in college football in A.J. Brown, close to 1,300 yards receiving in 2017. And had 75 catches, 11 touchdowns at 6'4". He definitely presents matchup problems for anybody trying to cover him. So you get A.J. Brown back, but he doesn't have to do it all by himself because he'll have a guy that caught 41 passes last year and almost 700 yards receiving in DeMarcus Lodge. And you also return Metcalf, who had 39 receptions. Unfortunately, there's no Van Jefferson. He decided to transfer to Florida. But still, this receiving unit, like I said, it's amongst the best you'll find in the country. This is an Ole Miss offense that scored 33 points per game a year ago, and their passing game was tops in the SEC at 328 yards per game. But again, they got to find a way, though, to run the ball, again, without Jordan Wilkins. Other than the right guard, you return the offensive line. In fact, you have 5 players who started at least 8 games in 2017. Greg Little, you get back, and even though he's a junior, this could be his last year, he's the left tackle, and left tackles make a ton, an obscene amount of money in the NFL, so he could very well be a 2019 first-round draft pick. So why am I not giving the Rebels much of a sporting chance this season? The defense. That's why. Proof's in the pudding. Last season, they absolutely sucked elephant nuts. They were horrible. Dead last in the conference in yards given up per game, 459, and on the ground they were really pathetic, allowing 245 per game, and in SEC play, giving up 270 yards on the ground per game. Yeah, big reason why I'm not giving them much of a sporting chance. And if that wasn't enough, DeMarquise Gates, their leading tackler at linebacker, well, he's gone. And we will start at linebacker, or at least you get a veteran back now entering his senior year, Diedrich being Dukes. And a guy that started in the JUCO ranks, Vernon Dasher, you have him. He can either play in the secondary or he play linebacker. Most likely will be at that star position. Up front, you get Josiah Coatney back, a defensive tackle with 65 stops. Secondary, not as many issues in this area, although they really weren't all that great, but at least they weren't dead last in the conference. They were 9th in the SEC in passing defense. 219 per game is what they allowed. So you have plenty of experience at the free safety spot. C.J. Moore is back, 3 picks a year ago, and a guy that could play that same position in Jalen Jones. He had 34 tackles. And you do get back the strong safety in Zedrick Woods, who played some in 2017 with 64 tackles. And at the corner, Miles Hartfield, with 42 tackles. Well, all eyes will be on the Ole Miss defense that Coach Lucas already said has got to be more physical. We'll see if they can push the opposition around rather than be pushed back themselves. And the Rebels do have to replace the kicker and the punter. You get 8 SEC games each year. That means you get 4 non-conference games. The toughest of those non-conference foes appears to be the Red Raiders, which will be September the 1st in Houston. Expect that to be an extremely high-scoring game. The other non-league games, they should be able to get W's: Southern Illinois, Kent State, and Louisiana Monroe. You'll notice that the Ole Miss schedule has a lot of the tougher opponents at home: Alabama, Auburn, South Carolina. The one thing I will say, though, that's in the favor of Ole Miss, their natural rival, in other words, the team that they play every year from the opposite division, is Vanderbilt. You got to play them on the road, but at least you don't have to go to Georgia or Florida, so that helps. And, of course, you close the year out with the Egg Bowl. Last year, Ole Miss beat Mississippi State. But I don't see it happening this season. In fact, I see very few victories for Ole Miss in 2018. Yes, it's an offense that can throw the ball, but can they run? The biggest issue, of course, is a defense that was pathetic in 2017, and it could be even worse this season. I've got Ole Miss representing the caboose in the division. I got them 7th. That's my look at the Ole Miss Rebels. See you next time.